So, freedom, happiness, and wisdom. This is our name of our series: freedom, happiness, and wisdom. So, in the first lesson, we understood that there is a natural state of meditation. Natural state means he has attained the highest state. He lives and works in meditation. So people who wants to reach to the highest state but do not want to leave what is not desired. Sometime our mind, let me grab everything. But when it times comes for giving, no giving. That also applies to meditation. That I must realize what is not desired. I must leave it. You have a problem with your honey, for example. Always example comes as the honey. You can take honey as your smartphone, your spouse, or anything. I don't want to leave. Grab. So meditation is a movement, basically. It's a movement. That's why we have a phrase asatoma satgamaya, move from the false to the truth. So that exchange should continue all the time. So that is why we picked up the second topic: who destroys this natural state and how? And we understood the psychology of desires. I laid the foundation of learning from this master, which is known as Patanjali. Then in the third, we took up a subject: how to begin dropping instinctive, impulsive, and habitual mind. You see that? The more you drop means you leave something, you gain something. It applies to everything. You are on the verge of earning money and you keep it deposited in the bank. You don't want to take that money out. It will not work. Look at, for everything, whatever we eat in the morning, we throw it out. So that exchange is always there. We have to understand that power of exchange consciously. Then the last week we understood that what is all about this sutra. A one phrase, and it gives you a clarity. It removes the ambiguity. It gives you the sense of what is, what we are going to do, and how we are going to do. So today is, before that, I want to say something more, that when I say meditation is a movement, the very first movement, the mind is engaged with the impurities. So in meditation, the very first step is to recognize these impurities in terms of reaction, anger, hesitation, ego sense, and mala. It is known as impurities, dirt, dusting, dust. So we have to remove that dust. I have to recognize in me. That is the first movement. The second movement is that we must understand clearly. We must gain the right knowledge of the real self and the not self. And then the third process that takes place in meditation is practice, 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 practice. So if you don't follow all the three, then we do not reach to the higher state. So now come to the popular notions of yoga in the world. Everything is right. I'm not in a uh, state to criticize anything. Popular notion of yoga. What is popular notion of yoga? 26 postures, 13 postures. What is the advanced yoga from 13 asanas? You do 24 asanas or 50 asanas, and ultimately you stand on your head rather than stand on your feet. When the God has given us the feet, why to stand on the feet, on the head? We need to understand. We should understand. These are the popular notions of yoga. We have different styles of yoga and different. But what Patanjali is saying. So we should understand what Patanjali is saying, the authority, the master of the sutra, the codifier, not the originator. So sometimes we say that it is the union of the body, mind, and soul. Yeah, it's a common phrase. Who the hell you are to unite body, mind, and soul? Are they not united? Ask yourself. Ask yourself. Are they not united? Are they not working together? Oh, we say body, mind, and soul, and then it's going. No, I'm not criticizing. One has to understand. If you do not understand with the clarity, then it will not work for you. Do whatever you want to do. That is what our master Patanjali is saying. Now, what master Patanjali says and what Vyasa. Did you understand the last lesson? We will take a understanding from the Vyasa, that is, who is a commentator, and critical commentary by Vijnana Bhikshu. Plus, I will add other commentaries also. There are 30 commentaries by the great masters. The Vyasa who wrote 99% of the principles of yoga, who is giving a commentary on Patanjali. So he is an authority. I'm not an authority, nobody is there. So we have to follow that. So having said that, Patanjali, Vyasa says, what is yoga? He says yoga is highest state of mindfulness. He defines the root of yoga is yuj, and that yuj means samadhi. Yujir, yujo, samadhi. Samadhi means the highest state of mindfulness. Does it blow your mind? We talk of yoga as a set of physical practices. Hatha Yoga is a complete book. No, Hatha Yoga is a topical text. Hatha Yoga Pradipika and Girish Sanhita. And Yoga Sutra is a complete text. So what he says, yoga samadhi. Now, Vyasa explains the first sutra that yoga is samadhi and it is characteristic of a mind. What it means? What it means? It simply means the meditation takes place in the mind. Meditation happens in the mind. But which state of the mind? Now see, did you go through it the last lesson clearly? The sutra, the clarity, no ambiguity, explanation. You see that? That is the beauty of the learning. So the first thing, what he says, yoga is the highest state of mindfulness. Then Vyasa comments on it. What Vyasa comments? He says that mindfulness or meditation is a characteristic of the mind. Oh, characteristic. I have a mind. So am I in meditation? You see, next question arises. See that? See the beauty of coherent statement, one after the other. So the Vyasa says, yes, my meditation is a characteristic of the mind, but mind lives in five subjective states. So then the next question comes, which are the states in which the meditation happens and succeeds? I'm not going deeper because it takes a lot of explanation, so I'm just explaining the main points. So, mind lives in five subjective states, out of which meditation succeeds only in two subjective states. In the three subjective states, the meditation will not happen. It means I have to drop those three subjective states. You see that? I started the journey by explaining I have to leave something to gain something. That exchange must be there. But I'm holding on something that I don't want to leave, but I'm forced to leave, then it will not work, my friends. So now, what are the five subjective states of the mind? And which are the two subjective states of the mind where the meditation succeeds? I'm not going deeper because the Vyasa says that in all the five subjective states, there is a meditation mind. Are you listening to me attentively? 100%? Even for a minute? Yes. So even the wandering mind, your mind was wandering, you listened to me for 1 minute attentively, that is also understood as meditation. But that is not yoga. Are you getting it? You need to listen to it again and again. Arizona is USA. Is USA Arizona? Arizona is one of the 50 states. Listen to it again. Arizona is USA, 100% true. Right? Is USA Arizona? Now apply. That in all the five subjective states, there is a state of meditation. You get obsessed. The mind is totally focused and absorbed. But that is not yoga. So only yoga takes place in two subjective states of the mind. Did you understand why I gave an example? Arizona is USA, USA is not Arizona. Simple. So now what are those five subjective states? The first subjective state is wandering mind. Is your mind wandering now? So first state is the wandering mind. Second state is forgetfulness. Third state is known as occasionally steady or obsessed. I say crazy, lazy, and obsessed state of the mind. First three states. Fourth state is one pointedness, which means that you are a seeker. And the fifth state is empty state of the mind. So we have five states of the mind. So in all the five states of the mind, definitely there is an element of meditation, but not yoga. Yoga only succeeds in the last two states of the mind. That is one pointedness and empty state of the mind. Are you getting it? Are you getting it? That is the beauty of the first sutra. Now take the sutra. First sutra is known as it Ath Yog Anushashanam. Ath. Ath has multiple meanings. So the Vyasa says, out of the multiple meaning, the meaning that applies, that is meant by the Patanjali, Atha means that you are a seeker. That is why I am speaking about the discipline and education of yoga. So Patanjali says in the first chapter that only this for the seeker, this discipline and education of yoga is given. Ath. Ath means I am a seeker. I used to go, I told you before that, before the master. So after meeting with my master after a few months, I made it a point that I must be present 1 hour before the master starts his talk. That 1 hour used to give me clarity of the mind is already focused. So I always used to achieve that focus of the mind for 1 hour. It's not pride, but after 10 years, he told all his students that who succeeds in meditation, who wait for meditation. So he laughed and he said that he waits for his master, and for you guys, the master waits for you. So I played a trick. I said, let us meet at 7:50. It's a kind of, you see that? Now see, Ath Yoga Anushashanam. Ath means the seeker. Yoga means, according to Vyasa, yoga is the highest state of meditation. That is why we use the word samadhi. So, but then he explains the meditation is a characteristic of the mind. Means all meditation takes place in the mind. But which mind? There are 5 subjective states of the mind. Out of the 5, only 2 subjective states of the mind, the meditation succeeds. That is the meaning of yoga here. And anushashanam, it is a discipline and education. Anu. Anu means traditional, coming from the past. Shashan means discipline and education. So, Ath Yoga Anushashanam. Yes, pick up one thing. I have set an agenda yesterday that after the meditation practice is over, just I will finish at 9 exactly, and then I will start my work in the outer world. So means that thought will continue to remain at the subconscious level in the mind, right? And now you are doing the practice. So you are loading the practice from outside, and inside the mind has already an agenda. It will not succeed. Do you see the point what I'm making? Do you see the point? Do you understand that? I have an agenda already set in my mind. And now I'm loading the mind with the practice, so the mind enters into the conflict at a much deeper level of which I am not aware. It will not succeed. What I said, Eastern wisdom, including yoga, is a knowledge, is a study to study yourself. Nothing else. You study yourself, you excel, so that you understand how you can excel. How you can excel. Are you getting it? So I'm summarizing before we do the practice. So there are a lot of things to be understood. Now I recognize that which state of the mind I have. Keep aside everything. That is what we do even in the business, even in work, even driving. But we take meditation easily. I'm talking to seekers. I have also the Thursday session late in the evening for New Jersey uh, students. There I take it very casually. Understand that. Ath Yoga Anushashanam. Ath, I am a seeker. Or if I explain according to Patanjali, Patanjali says, come on, my seekers, you are a seekers. I will start the discipline and education of yoga from A to Z, so that you succeed in meditation that leads to awakening, realization, and transformation, so that you can live and work in peace, happiness, love, and wisdom. We take it casually. Now the discipline of yoga starts. I am not ready. How the discipline will start? Let us start our practice. So keep in mind 5 states. Let us start our practice now.